As us hit the road, sunshine smiles, our stories unfold. Jump in the car, feel that summer vibe. With every mile, our spirits come alive. So let's dance to the beat, feel the glow. In Slovenia, where our dreams flow.
Welcome to Sunny Solo. I am Sunny and we are talking about my trip to Slovenia in November to see the fall colors. We are talking about day 5. If you have not seen the previous ones, please subscribe and please watch the other ones. You will see some beauty of Slovenia and some stories from there. Lots of interesting stuff in Slovenia. Let's come to day 5. Day 5, I got up early like I usually do, about 6:30, did a little bit of writing, notes and stuff. And after I did my shower and got ready and then went for breakfast. This time it's the accent is on went, because this apartment house, the apartment my tribe left, they had booked me with breakfast, but they did not have breakfast facilities there at this time. I don't know whether there was a renovation going on or something, but for whatever reason they had arranged the breakfast in a local hotel. And the hotel itself, I think it was a much more posh hotel than my apartments, and at least 4-star. It was gorgeous. Inside was also very luxurious. But the best thing was that breakfast room. The breakfast room was really huge, lots of nice tables with lots of space between them, and the breakfast arrangement itself was in a big room as well, and the variety that they had, oh wow. This hotel, it was called Hotel Bohinj, and Hotel Bohinj, they had like pizza slices, they had some pies, they had a whole variety of fruits and lots of different varieties of bread. They had eggs, scrambled, boiled. They had a fancy coffee machine as well. Several different kinds of desserts there. So even if you were not hungry, your mouth would water. It was like this good. And because the arrangement was good, there was no staff there for anything, but only at the bar side there was somebody there. And I think I needed maybe a spoon or something. I did talk to the bar staff or something. But the breakfast itself was so much variety, even for vegetarian, or for me like an agitarian they call me, or ovo vegetarian. I had lots of options there to have food. So I did take some bread and butter and eggs and everything, and then had some latte macchiato. Oh, so good, man. I wish I could have eaten more, but I could not. I have my capacity. So that breakfast room, it was definitely worth it. Okay, so I had the breakfast, enjoyed it very much because the view outside the window was also nice. Like glass wall, one wall was all glass, you could see outside, and lovely environment. So finished the breakfast, then I went to this place called the Tourist Information Center. It was so close to this hotel that Google was not able to actually do a proper navigation, but I found it with the signs, and that place Bohinj was a much more relaxed place, so there was parking available easily anywhere you went. So went to this information center, and this had lots of like t-shirts and postcards and magnets and things like that, which I had not been able to buy so far in Slovenia. So here I bought some t-shirts. They were not great designs, but like basic designs with Bohinj printed on them, so which is what I wanted, the Lake Bohinj. So I got that, got some postcards and got some magnets as well. And price was also quite reasonable. I think I spent maybe 35 euros there. Finished there, came back to my apartment and did a little bit of my normal writing, hanging out, computer, catching up things, and then I had to leave at 11 o'clock, and I was able to check out exactly at 11 o'clock. And as soon as I went to the lake, by the way, the walk is about 10 minutes, and it's a very, very difficult walk. It's not because it's slopes or anything. It's so beautiful in the fall with the sun shining, light filtering through the trees, and the view is so good. You just want to stop every few steps and take pictures. So I found that very difficult to walk through that because I want to just stop every time. So I just turned my body cam on, like okay, whatever it captures. But I did still a couple of places I stopped and took pictures within the 10 minutes walk. Then got to the lake, and as soon as I got to the lake, I realized my mistake. Lake Bohinj and this whole Bohinj area, it's so much better then Ljubljana and Lake Bled area. Because both of those, Lake Bled is also like a city. It's very busy, it's very touristy. There are lots of people. Because of that, there's lots of demand on everything. And when I got to Lake Bohinj, from people's attitude, from scenery, from the prices in the shopping mall, everything was better and cheaper and more reasonable. And I told you about the breakfast, right? That was so much better in Bohinj as well. The next breakfast was also really good and you have to hear about it. So please subscribe so that you don't miss that video. But yeah, so if I had known, so my plan this time was that I stayed in Lake Bled for 2 nights and then came to Lake Bohinj for 1 night. 1 night, how stupid can you be? Like, that place deserved at least 2 or 3 nights to stay there. So if I had known what I know now, I would have skipped Lake Bled or maybe stayed there for a few hours and then just drove on to Lake Bohinj, because staying over in Lake Bled, I got nothing extra. Okay, Lake Bohinj, it was such a nice one. As soon as I got out of the apartment in the morning to go to that breakfast, it was so beautiful, like misty mountains and trees and the little light. It's an atmosphere that makes poets, basically. So if you stayed there, you would want to write something, you know. If I had known that, I would have spent at least 2 nights in Lake Bohinj. That apartment was also much nicer than the hotels. The hotel I had in Lake Bled, and yeah, just everything was nicer. Anyway, let's come to Lake Bohinj itself. Lake Bohinj does not have that beautiful church and the island in the middle that Lake Bled has. That is one thing is missing, and the boats. There were no boats. There were no people rowing boats in this. But it's a big lake. I think about as big as Lake Bled itself. It's very pretty. The mountains are right there next to it instead of being too far in the background. And the best thing is the atmosphere is not very busy. It's not very demanding, like you have to move out for people to walk around you. There are lots of people going for walks, coming back from walk. Nothing like that. There are people walking. There was a track right next to the lake and people were walking on it, but nothing close to Lake Bled crowd. And there were fields on the other side of the track. There's lake on this side of the track. It's just so beautiful. I can't even put it in words how gorgeous that atmosphere was, because there were fewer people. There was not that much demand. There were no hotels nearby. There was no road next to the lake. Not right next to the lake. It was not far, but not like car horns and, you know, right next to the lake. Not that kind of environment. Because of that, it was more like Bohinj was more like a village kind of, a community kind of feel, whereas Lake Bled was still more town, city kind of feel. Even though it's a tourist area, both are tourist areas, but so much different. So my advice, if anybody's going to Slovenia, is that maybe go at least 2-3 nights to Lake Bohinj. And if you have to do Lake Bled, just go there in the morning and then leave in the evening. One thing that I got here, which I did not get at Lake Bled that much, was that I got to fly my drone with much more freedom, because there are no trees. There are trees like next to the lake, but then there's a little pedestrian track kind of road, and then next to that, big grass fields. So the drone is very safe there. There are no people flying, no people walking that you can fly over them or anything like that. And your drone is safe that you're not going to run into any trees. And you have a lot of space where you can walk. So, and the water in that lake was absolutely like glass clear. Very beautiful. I flew my drone quite a lot there. So this was the place after many times, after maybe a couple of years of not doing it, I actually tried this whole active track, it is called. So the drone can track me when I'm walking from the side or from the front or the back, or it can do orbits. So I did some of those things which I would like you to see. Then I'll tell you the mistake that I made here as well. So here are some of those shots of the lake and of myself. Amazing, right? So Lake Bohinj, this one visit I wish I could do again if I do go to Slovenia. I kind of doubt it because it was a bit expensive. But if I do go back to Slovenia, I would go to Bohinj for about 2-3 nights directly. And then from there, I was driving to Skofja Loka. Skofja Loka was between Lake Bohinj and Ljubljana. So I was thinking that this is a good way to break my journey. And that's another pretty location as well. So it took me about an hour's drive and the roads were quite nice as well. And the hotel there, oh my god, I can't say the name because it's a typical Slovenian name, very long. I'll try and put it on the screen, but let's call it Navasi. It was nice. It was a good one, and there was a skylight in the roof, which you could see some of the sky and some of the mountains. And the only thing was there was no lift, so I had to drag my stuff 2 flights up, which was okay because I did not pack very heavily. Once I got into the room and looked around, and then because it was fall, so it was going to get sunset soon, not sunset because it was misty day, like foggy, but it will get dark. So I thought, what can I see before? And there's a local castle in Skofja. I thought, okay, I'll go there. So I went to the castle, and the castle was okay. I did not try to go in. I don't try to go in anymore. I just tried to take the pictures from outside. I found a corner there's a bench, put my bag down, and I was able to fly my drone from there. Just did about 10 minutes of flying, but I think there are some nice pictures. Just take a look and check out. So after 10 minutes when it was done, there was nothing more to see, and it was getting slightly fading light as well. I came back to the hotel, and like I've said, this hotel had a restaurant. So that restaurant was on the ground floor of this hotel. Nice, long, and lots of tables. And the food was good. Service was good as well. The waiter I had, he spoke English and he was very nice, smiling people. I like nice, smiling people in my wait staff. So, and he was very helpful as well to give me advice into what I can order. So, not many things that were vegetarian, but maybe four things, maybe 3 or 4 items that I could have. I opted for these dumplings with vegetables, and they were very nice. Creamy taste, a little bit less spicy for my taste, so I just put some black pepper on them, but otherwise really nice. And I had fresh orange juice there, which was actually fresh orange juice, as in squeezed there and then. So with fresh orange juice and the vegetable dumplings, it was 17 pounds that I paid, so about 20 euros, which is like, par for the course in Slovenia. After that, I just took a little 20-minute nap, and then after that just hung around because it was dark outside and I'm not a party person to go out clubbing. The next day is coming up now, so this is the 5th day, but the next day, which was kind of the last day of this trip, that also is my travel towards Ljubljana, also some sightseeing, and of course we are going to talk about some food. You do not want to miss that chat about the food, also about the breakfast tomorrow. So yeah, actually there's lots coming up in the next one. Do subscribe and don't miss any of these, because lots more nice stories and beautiful Ljubljana as well. Slovenia was gorgeous. It did not disappoint that way at all. So hang around and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.